Greetings! I'm Teek, and this is the show where I go over things that were of interest to me in the last week. Fortunately, I have a great many interests, so there's probably something for you here too. Kevin Smith's He-Man series for Netflix released its casting info this week, and by the power of Grayskull is this cast stacked with heavy hitters, so let's dive in. The titular He-Man will be voiced by Chris Wood, best known for being a handsome supporting character in recent CW shows. Meanwhile, we've got a couple of Jokers in this cast. The legendary Mark Hamill will be lending his voice to the evil Skeletor, and the Batman's Kevin Michael Richardson will portray the Beastman. Of course, where there's Mark Hamill, there's Kevin Conroy. The voice of Batman himself will be branching out to Merman in this series, and he'll be joined by fellow Batman Diedrich Balder from Harley Quinn, playing King Randor and Trapjaw. Phil Lamar, another DC animated regular who's been in damn near everything in the last 20 years, naturally joins the cast as Hero, a character that was never animated and could either be He-Man's ancestor from the past or his son from the future, depending on which undeveloped storyline Kevin Smith decides to go with. And for one more Batman reference, Alicia Silverstone from Batman and Robin will be playing He-Man's mom, Queen Marlena. And you know what, let's just keep the DC references going for a while. Tiffany Smith, no relation to Kevin Smith, from LEGO DC Supervillains is playing Andra, a barely developed supporting character from the 80s comic series. Henry Rollins, who played a bit villain in Batman Beyond, is now Triclops. Susan Eisenberg, a go-to voice actor for Wonder Woman, will be playing the Sorceress. Tony Todd, who voiced Zoom in The Flash, will be Scareglow, who never made it to the original cartoon. And finally, Cree Summer, the Catwoman of DC Superhero Girls, and also Penny Gadget from nearly 40 years ago, will be playing a character called Priestess. Whoever that is. I've got nothing. That's about all I've got for DC connections, but wait, there's more. The cast also features two Game of Thrones alumni. Lena Headey will voice the evil Lynn, while Liam Cunningham will be the voice of Man-at-Arms. Sarah Michelle Gellar, the Vampire Slayer herself, joins the cast as Teela. Stephen Root, the stapler guy from Office Space, will play Cringer. Griffin Newman, who played Arthur in Amazon's The Tick, will be Orko. Justin Long, who probably hates being referred to as the Mac guy, will be Roboto. And of course, it wouldn't be a Kevin Smith production without a little bit of nepotism, so Jason Mewes is naturally cast as Stinkor, a villain described as a walking fart joke. Meanwhile, Smith's daughter Harley Quinn Smith has a part as Alina, an underconfident friend of Teela's from a one-shot episode. And finally, Alan Oppenheimer, the original voice of Skeletor, has a role in this series as Mossman. Animated by Powerhouse Animation, the same studio responsible for Castlevania, which released a trailer for its third season this week, Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation will pick up unresolved storylines from the original series. And considering the number of characters from the toy line that never even made it to the small screen, there's probably no shortage of those. Next up, let's go back to talking about Batman. Director Matt Reeves released a quick peek at Robert Pattinson in a very daredevilish looking camera test for the Batman. Not much to see here really. There's Batman's chiseled jawline and a look at the Bat emblem, which is probably made out of the remains of the gun that killed his parents. Interestingly, a similar concept was used by Kevin Smith in a short story, so he's having a pretty good week this week. Meanwhile, in video games, it looks like Pokemon Home is out sooner rather than later. The Pokemon Managing Cloud service launched this week, so go ahead and start trading. Moving on into upcoming releases, hitting theaters this week is Call of the Wild. If you want to watch Harrison Ford go on a journey through the wilderness with a CGI dog, then this is the movie for you. And for something a little scarier, there's Brahms, the Boy 2. Haunted dolls possessing unsuspecting kids is an oldie but a goodie. Can't really go wrong with that. Over in television, The War of the Worlds is getting a new adaptation on Epix this week. Spoiler alert, everybody's screwed. On Amazon Prime, it's Nazi hunting time. Jordan Peele brings us a feel-good story about patriotic Americans doing what Americans do best. Can't wait. Meanwhile, on Disney Plus, the Clone Wars are finally coming to an end. The final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars starts up this week. And finally, on Cartoon Network, Thundercats Roar premieres this week, which comes as a surprise to me because I thought this came out like a year ago. But okay, sure, I'm sure there's an audience for this. Over in video games, releasing this week on Steam is Mokoko. Inspired by classic arcade games like Bullfight, I can't figure out why they'd add anime girls to a game about clearing space off a... Oh, I get it now. Yeah. Speaking of classics, Diesel Attack is a typical looking side-scrolling shooter, but this one has a uniquely steampunk look to it if that floats your airboat. Super Hiking League looks like a pretty fun co-op retro game about climbing and fighting your way up NES-style levels. Roman's Christmas, a furry detective game, is yet another entry in the fascinating animal-based visual novel genre. Tuar purports itself to be a tower defense game, but wow, it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on there. I am both impressed and kind of intimidated. Less so for Sky Cannoneer, which looks to be more PvP based, but still pretty interesting. Bomb Fight is literally just Bomberman, but with crazy multiplayer support, including 4 people on a single keyboard, in which case I hope everybody playing put on deodorant. Sorbetta, Gravely in Debt is this week's RPG Maker game of note, a comedy RPG starring a purple anime girl with a sexual content tag. What could go wrong? Death and Taxes is a kinda neat looking game where you choose who lives, who dies, and watch how your decisions play out. Pixel Pile-Up Party is really just a 4-pack of Game Boy style games, which I'm always a sucker for, even if I'll never play them. And finally on Steam, Bloody Ending, because I feel bad I pointed out that one RPG Maker game, but not this one. Also, that's a really cool piece of art it's using for its logo. Over on the Epic Game Store, there's another double for free games this week. This time it's Kingdom Come Deliverance, which if I recall correctly is a buggy but fun open world RPG with some major freedom and choices. And then there's Aztez, a beat-em-up game with strategy elements and a cool visual style. On consoles this week, Vanquish and Bayonetta are heading for the PS4 and Xbox One. Also, can Bayonetta really be 10 years old already? Man, I feel old. For more exclusives becoming less exclusive, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue is headed for the Xbox One. Good luck, new players! And the classic ports keep on coming on the Switch. This week sees the release of Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition. Also on the Switch, there's 3000th Duel, a neat-looking Metroidvania-style game. Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle is headed for the PS4 and Switch, though I'm pretty sure you can get most of these games included with Nintendo Switch Online. Also hitting the Switch and PS4 this week is Under Night In-Birth EXE Late CLR in brackets. I swear these fighting games are getting named by people just pressing random buttons on their autofill. Frederick is a rhythm game, I think, that seems to be about mechanized time-traveling musical artists saving the world. Blood Will Be Spilled is a pretty cool-looking turn-based strategy game about western insects. And finally, Nightin is a very, very Zelda-inspired dungeon crawler with a lot more complexity. That leaves us with this week's awesome video, and I'm gonna cheat this week and play this trailer for The Iron Mask, which has Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jackie Chan, and a CGI dragon.
I've been waiting for this for a long time.
That's everything for this week, so what undeveloped He-Man storyline do you want to see Kevin Smith tackle? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and maybe give me a like if you think I deserve it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great week!